What's up, guys? This is a follow-up video to my last video in regards to replacing the cam on a John Deere D110. The engine model for this is 31R6. I'm sorry, 31P as in Paul 677 type 0125. G5, and then the code is 120425ZA. This engine, if you look at my other video on how to replace this, what I did is there was another motor in here. I accidentally ran over a tarp back there. Didn't even go over it, got sucked in as I was driving close to it. And so I would suggest that you highly stay away from stuff like that can damage your machine. Long story short, it demolished my engine. It broke everything inside, like the rods and the cam. Everything was messed up. So what I did was I tried to use another engine, this engine that's on there right now. I put this is the cam for it. I try to take that cam out because the little the compression valve that's in here was broken, and since I knew it didn't break on me and I didn't know what was in there, I decided to open it up and put the cam from the other engine in there. As close as these two look alike, they're not the same. You have to get your part from that number that I read you on the valve cover, because when I took that cam out of it, it was running fine, even though it was thick every now and then. I had to turn the flywheel like by hand because the decompression valve wasn't there. But somehow the other engine that broke had this here. It didn't have the decompression valve, and I never had an issue with it. I did have to do some adjustments to it, but I was able to get it all taken care of with no problem. But once I took this cam out of this engine that's in here now and put the one from the other engine that I got, you'll see that when I started the engine on the other video, it's a mess. Like it ran so rough when it was running at low speed, or the rabbit here, the engine would just, go real low RPMs and eventually just surged out and turn off. And when I brought it up to the rabbit, it would run, and you could just see the governor here, the governor arm was just ticking back and forth, like the RPMs were all over the place. So I went and got, did I have an air leak? No. Did I have a clogged jets? I took apart that carb and that one up there several times. I swapped them back and forth. I think this was the one that was on the other engine. And I'm like, why am I getting, what's going on? I didn't think I was, something was out of line. I tried to adjust the governor, that didn't work. I ended up running it like that, and I'm driving it. It's just surging back and forth. Every now and then, it would just run properly. You just hear it running smooth when I was up a hill. So long story short, it was just running too rich. You can smell the fuel coming out the exhaust. So I went and talked to a guy and try to do some research. I was going to buy an engine, and I went to a guy that works on engines, and he was telling me you cannot take a cam from a different size engine and try to put parts together, because they all have the certain clearance on the valves on those cam lobes. So this here, I guess, they all could be different. I understand that not all cams are created the same for different, but I would think they're all the same. In fact, they even have the same number right here, that 579. And I said, well, the heck with it. Instead of me messing around, I'm gonna go take the part number that I need, or take the information from here. And I ordered it from Amazon. It cost me like $40 for the kit, a cam kit. Came with the with a new cam gear with the little valve in there, the compression valve, a gasket for the valve cover, and a gasket for the sump down there. So again, on the video, I have the whole process of how to take everything apart, take the sump out, the oil pump, and everything. Everything is on that other video, and I'm gonna put that link on the description to this one, so you can If you have to do that job, you can go to there. And if you have to do, if you have the issue that I had where you're having high and low RPMs when you knew before the engine went bad it was fine, then this will help you out. You put that new cam in there, and I mean night and day. I adjusted my valves. It could be that my valves were out of placement, and I thought I had them right, but I didn't on that other. I'm not sure if I showed on that other video where I replaced the cams, but I ended up just taking everything apart again and put the new valve seats that came in there, and then I took the valve cover back off and recalibrated everything, and well, it's running smooth. I'll show you that there's no problems now. So here I'll turn everything on, and you can hear it running with no issues. It's not on the low here. So my engine does run super loud. I think my exhaust has a problem, or my muffler rather. I'm missing a bolt here. That one's stripped. The other one, the only one hanging, holding it on is that one back there. So I have to go get new bolts and plug all that up. But I have it plugged. I had it plugged, and it's still something with the muffler. But it runs loud. I put some earmuffs on and it runs. But there it is. Hopefully, if you have this kind of issues, this video will help you out understand that sometimes just taking parts from one engine to another engine doesn't really transition if they're not the same engine. If you have the same engine, you have no issues, or if the company made the same engines or the same parts for different generations. But for my case, this was a completely headache. I could not figure out what was going on. Do I have too much air? Do I have too much fuel? My spark plugs, is it the gap? And I just this was running fine before I put that cam in there. And that's all I did. I went back in there, got the kit, and only went. This tractor only has 100 and some hours, and it's in pretty good shape. The deck doesn't have any rust. I put new tires in there in the back and the front. I've done a ton of work to this thing, new belts, new pulleys. So I don't want to get rid of it. And being resilient and just doing my research and talking to people that know, I was able to get this thing back running. So if you have any questions about my process and anything that I explained, please let me know, and I'll try to discuss with you anything that I learned in this process. I'm not a professional, but I like messing around with mechanical stuff, and if I can help anybody out by doing these videos, that's my intention. Save you some money and get you to do things on your own. Get you off that couch, baby. All right. Thank you for watching.